have a bunch of stuff to go through here in today's video. Treyarch actually just updated Black Ops Cold War for the first time since the release of Vanguard. They released a new cinematic movie as well, and we're going to talk about year 2 content for multiplayer and zombies, including some Zombies Chronicles 2 talk here. So a lot of stuff to go through here in today's video. If you guys are new and would like to subscribe, I would greatly appreciate that, and be sure to drop a like on the video as well. Before we go through all the new info here, a quick word from the sponsor of today's video. Today's video has been sponsored by matterzx, a browser built specifically for gamers with a ton of cool features to overall enhance your gaming experience while on the web. First, to decrease lag and FPS drop while playing games, head over to GX Control on the side panel of the browser. Here you could see a bunch of different settings that will allow you to decrease the stress your browser has on your RAM, CPU, and network that would otherwise negatively impact your gaming experience. There's a hot tab killer as well that allows you to see exactly what tabs are stealing your computer's resources, which I think is super cool. You could X those tabs out if you see it's taking too much of the RAM or CPU. A network limiter can limit how much bandwidth you allow your browser to use. A RAM limiter is there as well. A CPU limiter you could change with a sliding bar below. Really sick stuff here. And the sidebar also comes with a bunch of really great accessibility features, such as the integration of popular social media channels directly into the browser itself. You could seamlessly switch from Twitter to Discord to whatever else you're doing while on your browser. This is super useful for me, as I'm always in the need to check social media, but I'm also doing work on my computer and browser, so really sick stuff here. And there's also a GX player that allows you to log into your 3 music apps, Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube Music, and seamlessly control and listen to music while on your computer in a much more convenient way than ever before. Whenever you start streaming video and audio in your browser tabs as well, the player automatically pauses and then automatically resumes the music once the tab is finished. Another cool feature there. And Opera GX is also available on mobile, and it can be easily connected to the desktop version as well. So this is a really sick browser made for gamers. A ton of people already use it, including PewDiePie, so be sure to check it out. You could download it for free by clicking the link down below in the description or in the pinned comment. Thank you again to Opera GX for sponsoring today's video. First up, the new cinematic movie. Call of Duty tweeted this out: "Nothing is ever as it seems. Watch the complete post-launch story cinematic for Black Ops Cold War and Warzone and relive the entire story." So pretty cool stuff here. Pretty much just a compilation of all of the intro and outro cinematics for the 6 seasons of Cold War and Warzone. Pretty solid story for that game, but let me know down below, did you like the MW 2019 story along with Warzone as well? All of those cutscenes and what happened there, or with Cold War and Warzone, did you like that story instead? And we'll see very soon if the Vanguard storyline along with the Warzone Pacific update can hold its own among all these other storylines happening in Call of Duty right now. Now, something really interesting here, Treyarch actually tweeted for the first time regarding Black Ops Cold War since Vanguard first released a couple of weeks ago. They said this week in Black Ops Cold War: "New gunfight tournament, Raid 24/7 continues, gunfight blueprints, and 5 days of double XP, double weapon XP, double battle pass XP start tomorrow." So interesting stuff here. Again, the changes aren't too major, but they're still continuing to update Cold War. Another note here: all 48 gunfight tournament rewards are now available to earn by winning 12 total tournaments. Players can continue to win tournaments to catch up on rewards they haven't earned yet, and wins will continue to pay out XP bonuses even after earning all 48 item rewards. So cool stuff there. But for this game in general, I want to look at the big picture of this here. Is this just as simple as Treyarch being nice to Cold War players that are still playing this game, and they're going to continue to update the playlist and do minor things, but nothing too major? Or are they going to support it a bit more than recent Call of Duties in their year 2 life cycle? So throughout the rest of this video, we're going to break down what Treyarch could do to support this game in a year 2 season for MP, and of course for zombies, the likelihood of that happening, and all of that good stuff. But before we get into that, I saw this comment below the Black Ops Cold War cinematic movie video, which again, I'll link down below if you guys want to check that out. This guy said this about Cold War: "Cold War will always be the game that could have been." So let me know down below, do you agree with this statement? Pretty much here, did Cold War have a ton of potential to be one of the best Treyarch games of all time, for example, but just fell short due to a variety of different reasons, whether it was the tough development cycle, Treyarch taking over the development of Sledgehammer and Raven's COD 2020 that they were originally making, you had all of the conditions in the world happening at that time, of course, big deal there. And there are probably a bunch of other reasons as well as to why people felt Cold War had a ton of potential to be a great game, but just fell a bit short. Maybe you disagree though, and you think that Cold War was pretty much perfect. It had the perfect amount of content. It didn't need any more, any less. It was just good as is. Or do you disagree with that statement in the other direction, where you just didn't like Cold War, and it didn't matter if they had more content, if they didn't have more content, you just didn't like the game to begin with? That's a respectable opinion to have. Of course, everyone has their opinion, so let me know down below if you're one of those people. But I think for this video and the year 2 DLC discussion we're gonna have for multiplayer and zombies, the people that liked Cold War will of course like this, but more importantly, the people that thought Cold War had a ton of potential but fell short will definitely be interested here, because this could be Treyarch's chance to give us a bit more content and make us feel a bit more complete with the game. So first up here for multiplayer, we've talked about time and time again, there have been a couple of pretty good credible rumors from credible sources, Tom Henderson being one of them, about different remade MP maps that were supposed to release in Cold War but never did. Of course, those are from Black Ops 1 multiplayer, Jungle, Summit, and Firing Range, and from Black Ops 2 multiplayer, Plaza and Yemen, 2 maps from BO2 that I think are underrated and I really would love to see. But overall here, if Treyarch were going to update Cold War multiplayer with extra content, it would very likely be in the form of remakes. It's just easier to do, and they probably already have them made and they just never release them in the regular seasons for the game. So if anything, if we do get extra MP content, it's probably going to be one of those, which I'm not necessarily mad at. It makes sense. I wouldn't expect them to have new original MP maps after their actual game has been out of the cycle, while Vanguard's at right now, where they're trying to make their new Cold War or their new Treyarch game in 2023, whatever it's going to be. So it makes sense. And also in general, I think if there's any chance to have extra Cold War content, it's probably going to be in the form of multiplayer content as opposed to zombies, because for one, of course, Treyarch, they're working on Vanguard Zombies, and I think for MP, it seems a bit easier to just develop and drop a DLC map than make an entire round-based map with an Easter egg and all of that good stuff. But again, let me know your opinions on that down below. For multiplayer, it would be fun if they did have some extra MP maps, but for me, I think chances are I'm going to stick with Vanguard MP. I like this year's MP relatively. Some of the maps are not that good, but some of the maps are really fun. And I think for Cold War, if they did add an MP map to that game, it would be kind of cool for a couple of days, but I can't see myself going back and regularly playing Cold War's MP because they did have an extra MP map drop in the game. Maybe I'm different and I'm not the biggest Cold War MP fan, and maybe there are a lot of you guys out there that are still playing Cold War's MP. You guys might enjoy that a lot more than I would, but, you know, it'd still be cool to see overall. Now, for zombies, of course, there's a lot more of a question as to what exactly we're seeing here and what we would see in a year 2 DLC season for this game. Of course, the big DLC update we've been talking about that we would want to see during year 2 would be Zombies Chronicles 2, Transit, Die Rise, and Buried, the 3 Black Ops 2 maps, or the 3 Zombies maps in general that have never been remade or remastered officially by Treyarch. Again, the short history of this here, these maps were rumored to be remade for Black Ops 4, and then they were ported over to Cold War, and as of now, no one knows exactly when or if they will ever release in the game. Now, with Treyarch working on Vanguard Zombies, you would think the chances of seeing extra Zombies content like this added to Cold War are slim to none, and you would be right, but I don't think this completely rules out the chances of seeing it at all. I feel like there still is a small chance there. But first off, if you think about it, Zombies Chronicles, the original map pack for Black Ops 3, released in May 2017 during the year 2 season of Black Ops 3. And during that time, Treyarch were busy developing Black Ops 4, so they still managed to release an extra map pack for that game, a pretty big map pack for Black Ops 3, while they were developing Black Ops 4. This time around, of course, Treyarch, they're working on their 2023 Call of Duty and also Vanguard Zombies, so they might be a bit more spread thin than they were back in 2017, but still, if they really wanted to set aside some resources to develop and make Zombies Chronicles 2 and release that update in Cold War, they could probably do that. Again, I don't know for sure. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, and maybe they just don't have any more resources to put towards anything else besides the 2023 Call of Duty and Vanguard Zombies right now. But again, I just don't know for sure, but that could be a possibility there. And secondly, Vanguard Zombies is very clearly not as popular as Cold War, and also not as supported by Treyarch compared to Cold War and even other past Zombies modes. So could this be a good time for them to just like continue to minimally update Vanguard Zombies for the rest of the year. No more big updates, just small objectives, small maps being added to Duran Fong, and instead bring those resources back over to Cold War Zombies and push a bit harder to release content for that game, extra Outbreak maps, extra Onslaught maps, and maybe even Zombies Chronicles 2. That could be very interesting for them to do in the short term, at least. I don't know about the long term, but at least in the short term, it would heavily bring interest back into that game specifically. They could also sell some bundles, some Victus operator packs to make a bunch of money as well, make it worth their time to do that back in Cold War. And that alone could make up for the lack of interest and possibly revenue from Vanguard Zombies. Now, again, will this actually end up happening? Most likely, no. The chances are very, very low. But for most people, I think they would rather see, at least for Zombies fans, they would rather see a bit more push back onto Cold War, release that ZC2 update, because for now, it just seems like, and I don't want to say this for sure, because I know a lot of people do enjoy Vanguard Zombies, but at least for me, the mode just seems like a lost cause. I'm not really enjoying it too much. I don't think the DLC is going to be that good throughout the year. We're not going to get any round-based maps, and the updates we do get just aren't going to be that exciting. I've said before, like, Vanguard Zombies, it has a good core mechanic. The gameplay systems are kind of good. I mean, it's not bad inherently. It's just not exciting. It's just not interesting to play, so the updates don't seem to be that exciting. We don't know for sure yet. I don't want to speak too soon, so I'm still hyped to see what we're going to get. I'm still interested to see what we're going to get, I should say, but I think it might be better for them to go back over to Cold War and drop some extra content there instead. Of course, who knows what they're thinking? Who knows what they're doing? We'll see very soon what ends up happening. And at this point, I just don't know what to think for Vanguard Zombies. I'm not really playing too much of Zombies anymore right now. And I guess if they do update Cold War, it would be nice to go back and do that. If they had ZC2 and Cold War, it wouldn't be the saving grace for Zombies, but it would be kind of fun to go back and play those maps finally. I think those maps would be so perfect on Cold War's engine specifically. I wouldn't really want to see them in Vanguard at this point. It would be cool, but the more I think about it, the more I would just rather have it in Cold War. And if not, just save them for 2023. At this point, just save them for the next Treyarch game. Drop them during that season. And maybe that's better for all of us. Just save them for the next Treyarch game so we can come back into it really strong. But let me know your opinions on this video down below. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. Quick wrap up here for year 2 content. MP, a bit more likely to see those remakes added, a lot less likely to see zombies, but overall it would be pretty cool to see nonetheless. And of course, the chances are high that we don't get any year 2 content, no MP content, no zombies content. I would still be fine with that option because I'm actually enjoying Vanguard, at least the MP, and I'm super hyped for the Warzone Pacific update, so I'll still be playing Call of Duty. I'll still be having fun with the new content, and if year 2 doesn't happen for Cold War, it won't be a big deal whatsoever, but part of me does kind of want to see that, especially for zombies. So again, let me know down below what do you guys think about that. But there are 2 videos up on screen that may interest you, so be sure to check one of them out. Really do appreciate it, guys. Shout out to the YouTube channel members as always, and I'll see you guys in the next video or live stream. Peace out, guys.